Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Phil Switch. My name is Phil Carew, and I'm joined by my fearless co-host, Brock Tamarino. The Phil Switch podcast is brought to you by Sal's Tire Caps. Sal's Tire Caps. Get # Sal's Tire Caps trending, or whatever they call it. Oh, hold on. Get # Sal's Tire Caps trending, or whatever they call it. All right. Brock, Sal actually wrote out the word # Sal's Tire Caps in the copy. So, Sal, there we go. # Sal's Tire Caps. Make sure to get that trending, or whatever you call it. Well, Sal, we got your spot in, but rumor has it that you don't listen to this podcast. So, either way, we took care of you. No problem. I guess our treat, possibly. Brock, so just as of recently, last week, the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, passed away. A lot of mixed feelings about that. Not on my part, but I guess from the public at large. It seems like most people thought she was a good lady. She never did anything to me personally. Brock, did the Queen of England ever do anything to you personally?
No, I never met her. No, I guess, yeah. She left me unscathed. I'll say that, I guess.
Yeah, same here. Brock, question for you. Speaking of royalty, and this question can actually go out to the listeners too. So if you're listening, listen to the question I asked Brock, and then feel free to call in. Brock, do you have any royal lineage in your family? Any royal blood flowing through your veins, Brock?
Not that I'm aware of. I suppose if you look hard enough, maybe a lot of people have royal lineage, but no, I not that I'm aware of. I never knew of any royal lineage in my family. My father, oftentimes in traffic, would give people the royal finger, as he liked to say, which actually, from what I understand, has no royal lineage either. So that's about as royal as I got.
Yeah, according to my grandfather, he was really into the genealogy stuff. I can't say I am or was, but he was really into it. And according to him, we apparently had some connection through our bloodline, family tree, whatever, to an Arabian prince, from what I understand. Now, I don't want the listeners to be misguided or misled. I never saw any of that royal fortune. Growing up as a relatively poor child in Indiana, but it was there. So maybe I just had to find a treasure map or some kind of sealed document, a will, an estate file or something. But yeah, no. So apparently Arabian prince lineage that never affected me. Not infected me. I suppose there were probably diseases, terrible diseases back then. Maybe if I did the whole DNA thing, I could find out some ancient disease that I'm just carrying around, just waiting to strike at any moment. Anyway, it looks like we have our first caller, according to our producer. First caller, Arthur. You were on the line. Do you have any royal lineage in your family? Did the Queen ever do wrong by you? We want to know here at the Phil Switch.
Well, as far as the Queen doing ill to me or my family, I can't say that ever happened. In fact, I don't know that anyone from this particular royal family ever wronged me or my family. Now, to answer the second question that you asked your colleague Brock, I do have, from what I understand, some royal blood in my family, royal lineage, royal bloodline. But much like you, Phil, I was not able to acquire any of the fortune from that. See, on my great-grandfather's unfortunate deathbed, if you will, I was told by my grandfather, it was whispered into my ear, one of the last things he said before he expired was, Arthur, listen to me closely. We have royal blood in our family, he said, verbatim. The royal blood from our family comes from the era of Genghis Khan. Now, it might strike you as odd that I would have royal ties to Genghis Khan, and it struck me odd as well. And what I came to find out later was that in the final days of my great-grandfather's life, which I've just found this out recently, actually, in the final days of my grandfather's life, he watched the movie King Kong quite often. And I was told that as a small child, he got Genghis Khan and King Kong confused often during history class, even when he was just talking about similar things to his friends. He often called King Kong Genghis Khan, and therefore what was told to me and passed down to me was that your great-grandfather actually wasn't telling you any lineage he had. What he was expressing to you is that he enjoyed the movie King Kong. So I guess even though I said there is royal ties in my family, it is only royal ties in the memories I have of my great-grandfather's love for the movie King Kong in his final days prior to his expiration.
Okay, so you're basically saying you have as much of a royal bloodline as I have.
I believe from your tale this would be accurate.
All right, cool. Thank you, Arthur, for calling in. I'm glad the Queen never did wrong by you or your family. That's always good to hear. One more person that, Team Queen, I suppose. So thank you, Arthur, for calling in. Our next caller on the line, Peter. Peter, did the Queen ever do wrong by you? And also, do you have any royal lineage in your family?
Phil Brock. Guys, thanks for having me back on. I told you I wasn't going to come back on until I had a book. And then, as luck would have it, the book's taking a little bit longer than I had planned. I've just got a lot of ideas floating around in my head right now. I'm trying to straighten them out. I'm up to about 1,000 pages. And guys, I've got to tell you, I'm up to about 1,000 pages, and this just covers a very short part of my life. Some of the, not to sound braggadocious, some of the successes I've had in my life. So the editor's trying to get me to, kind of whittle it down a little bit. But I've told the editor all this is very crucial to understand where I'm coming from in my career, in my focus on what I call the art of psychiatry. And guys, I've had so many experiences, you wouldn't believe it, even if I told you. And to be honest, 1,000 pages hasn't even covered it. So, we're talking about your little show here. I know you guys like to keep it short and sweet to keep people interested so they don't get bored and run away. People will be turning my pages at about 1,005 just wondering what's coming next. But anyway, guys, to get to your original question, Phil, sorry.
Peter, if you could just get to the original question, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah, sorry, Brock, sorry. To get to the original question, to answer question number one, did the Queen ever do ill by me? No, of course not. Of course not. The Queen and I always felt had a very close relationship. You had a relationship like you knew the Queen? Phil, did I know the Queen? A little bit, yeah. So the last story I can think to tell you, now I never met her in person, okay? I did a couple phone consults, especially when Harry and his wife had their whole thing. I did a couple counseling sessions with the family, and I was actually supposed to see her about 6 months ago. I was supposed to, during my various travels, I was over in England for about 2 weeks, doing some business, a little bit of leisure there. During my travels, I was supposed to stop by and see her. What happened was I got an emergency call, as I often do. It is not rare for me to get some emergency call, have to go somewhere very far away, typically exotic. Anyway, I got an emergency call. I was supposed to get lunch with the Queen that afternoon. Got an emergency call saying, we need you on a flight. Got on the flight, had to leave, was not able to make it back to that area before the Queen's untimely passing. Gone too soon, I say. And my condolences, obviously, to the family. To the family, all of her fans. I'm one of them. Like the Queen dearly. Funny lady, very funny lady. I don't know that I've met anyone as funny. Definitely not anyone funnier. I mean, guys, I'm sure she would get just a kick out of your show. I'm sure she would probably give you a couple giggles, a couple laughs. She would get the humor that's going on here. She kind of was able to get a lot of things other people couldn't grasp. So I never had any, as the kids are saying today, I never had any beef with the Queen. It seems so odd to say that. And I did almost meet her on occasion. I don't have any royal lineage that I know of, but I've got to tell you guys, I've had such a blessed life with everything that I've got to do, people that I've got to meet, see, experience, know, grow with, grow around, watch grow, that it almost feels like I have royal lineage in my blood. Do you guys understand what I'm saying by that?
Peter, I think everybody understands what you're saying by that. So you never had a problem with the Queen. You almost met her, and you don't have any royal lineage in your family that you know of. Is that right, Peter?
That's correct, Brock. I would give you an A+. Brock, your recall on my story is grandiose. And I just want to applaud you for that, Brock. I just feel like sometimes, anytime that I can come into somebody's life, help them through a struggle, or just give them a good pat on the back, say, good job, guy. I want to do that. So, Brock, if I were there with you, I'd pat you on the back, but I can do this. Good job, guy.
Don't call me guy, okay, Peter.
Oh, Brock, I didn't mean any. Oh, geez, Brock, I didn't mean any offense by that. Not one single iota, as common people say.
All right. Thank you, Peter. We're going to get to the next caller. Okay.
Okay, you guys have a good day. Good luck again. As always, good luck with your little project here. And when I get that book written, guys, I'm coming back. I'm coming back on here for sure, mostly for promotion, but also just to let you guys know that, hey, I came out with a book. So, all right, Peter, we look forward to having you back on. Thank you, Peter, for calling in and answering some of our questions. Stan, you're on the line with the Phil Switch. We are looking to see, did you ever have any beef with the Queen? And also, do you have any royal lineage in your family, royal blood, as it were? Stan, you are on the Phil Switch. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Well, right off the bat, I got to say, the only thing that offended me was that the Queen never invited me to have some of them sweets with her. I'm just joking. Oh, gosh. No, I didn't know the Queen. And she never once talked to me. I never talked to her, never reached out. So I can't say that I got any beef with her. Now, my friend Clyde, Oh, I tell you what, he didn't like the Queen, but that wasn't just to her. He didn't like nobody over there in England. He thought they were all a bunch of prudes. And I tried to tell Clyde, I said, Clyde, you don't even know him. You ain't even been but 2 towns away from where you was born. And Clyde, he said he don't care none. He don't like 'em. He don't trust 'em. He never did forgive 'em for what they did that put us in that Revolutionary War. Because Clyde, he don't have royal lineage, but his lineage goes back through all the wars. See, and I couldn't tell you right now, but one of Clyde's ancestors, they were in that Revolutionary War, and they came out on the other side of that. And Clyde's family has never liked the British since then. They always say, "Oh, if they're from Britain, I don't want to hear about them." They say, and they get real angry. I tell you, even sometimes when Clyde goes out, if he even thinks somebody's British, he'll say, "Oh, I don't know about that guy." And I'll say, "Clyde, just settle down, calm your jets," I say. But Clyde, he's another one. But I thought the Queen was real nice, real nice. Anytime I saw her on the TV, I thought, well, she's a lady that's got a goal. She's got focus. She's real nice. And I just never had any problem with her. Now, as far as any royal lineage in my family, I will tell you it's a funny story, because I once read, so I like looking things up, right? And I once saw one time that my name might have derived from a king somewhere. Now, I can't remember where that king was located at, but obviously he wasn't located here in the United States. See, the United States doesn't have a king, or a queen, as a matter of fact. But that king was located somewhere, and his name was Stan. And so I talked to my mom. I talked to her just a little bit ago, and I said, "What did you name me Stan for?" And she said, "Oh, that's a secret," she said. She said, "Shh, that's a secret." And she never did tell me. And I said, "Well, I was getting to looking, and I saw there was this royal king named Stan. And I always wondered if that's what you guys named me after, because my name was never Stanley. It was always just Stan. Even on my birth certificate, it says Stan, which I thought was weird to call a baby Stan, calling like a little 1-year-old, "Oh, come here, Stan." But they did it. I never did have no nicknames. I never did. But anyway, I think I might have some royal lineage, but I need to go look it back up and see where that King Stan came from. But I tell you what, there's a picture of that guy, and he was a brute. That guy was built like what they call a brick house, you know. Now, I will tell you, I went to a Willie Nelson concert once, and I think that's about as close to royalty, outside of maybe my namesake, that I could have got to. You see, Willie Nelson was playing his old classic hit "On the Road Again." You guys know that song?
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with Willie Nelson's "On the Road Again."
Yeah. That was one of my uncle's favorite songs. Actually, was "On the Road Again." He would sometimes take me out on rides, and he would play that song. He had like the tape cassette thing in his truck, and so he played that song a lot. Yeah, so yeah, I'm familiar with that song.
Oh, anyway, Willie Nelson got to singing that, and I was real close to the stage, right? And he's on the road again. I just can't wait to get on that road again. And when he turned around, right, and you guys know Willie Nelson has that beard, and his beard just graced right across my face. I could smell all kinds of things in there, but I just remember that the bottom of it was a little bit wet, and it just barely touched the top of my lip. And I thought, well, that's about as, Willie Nelson is like music royalty, right? And I thought that's about as close to royalty as I could have ever got. And when it went across my lip, just reflex, I licked the top of my lip. So technically, I suppose I got a little bit of Willie Nelson in me now. I don't know how all that works. I'm not one of those science guys. But I think technically, Willie Nelson's always going to live with me.
Wow. So you you have some of Willie Nelson's beard sweat in your DNA now.
Well, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, I guess now I do, don't I?
Yeah, it does sound like you have some of Willie Nelson's beard sweat in your DNA. So maybe you get to playing guitar. Maybe you get with some more of your friends or something. You guys start a little band, right there, Stan?
Oh, now, I don't know that I'd start no band. See, I tried to start a band back in high school, see. And what happened was that...
Hey, Stan, I tell you what, buddy. Maybe the next time we do a show that's maybe like music-oriented, we'll bring you back on to tell us about your band. But right now, we actually need to get to another guest, okay? So, Stan, we're going to let you go. We appreciate you coming on the Phil Switch and talking with us, and we will talk to you soon, I'm sure, Stan.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. So the next guest we have is Berkeley. Berkeley, did you ever have any issues with the Queen? And also, do you have any royal blood?
Well, I said I didn't have any issues with Queen. Now I said, but I saw on the TV that she unfortunately passed away. I said, and I did want to come back. I haven't seen that E.T. movie yet. We if you guys remember right, I said I'm gonna go watch that E.T. movie. I said, and I never got around to it. So I got to get back to that movie. I said, and we'll see what happens on there.
What E.T. movie?
Yeah, with the episode we did about aliens. Berkeley called in. So for if you haven't heard the past shows, Berkeley called in and gave us, we were asking people if they ever had encounters with aliens. Berkeley called in and gave us an encounter with an alien. Berkeley, are you still there? Okay, Berkeley's not here anymore. He didn't answer any of the questions either. Okay. Except the one about the Queen, I guess, not having any beef with her. So anyway, Berkeley called in. He gave us his rendition of some encounter he had with an alien, and in that rendition, it sounded exactly like the plot line for E.T. So if you get a chance, you can go back and listen to that one, but apparently Berkeley still needs to watch E.T. because Brock was kind of calling him out on it. I was kind of calling him out on it that, hey, that just sounds like the E.T. movie. Berkeley said he had never seen the movie before, so he was going to go back and watch the movie, get back to us, and let us know what he thought. And also, I think Berkeley might have accused the movie writers for stealing his story of an alien encounter. So anyway, Berkeley, thank you for calling in. I guess call us back once you've watched E.T. Okay. And we have one more guest. Hey, look who we got. Tactical Tim. Tactical Tim, always welcome on the Phil Switch. Tactical Tim, you've heard some of our questions, I'm sure. Did you ever have any problems with the Queen? And do you have any ties to royalty in your family?
All right, guys. So let me start out by saying, no, I never had any issues with the Queen. Okay, no issues with the Queen. Do I have any royal blood in my family? Not that I'm aware of. But I can't guarantee that for sure. It's just something I don't get into, and it's not something I've asked about, to be honest with you. I do want to make, if you guys don't mind, I would like to make a comment about the Queen's Guard. See, I have a tactical buddy that knows a guy that allegedly was somehow connected with the Queen's Guard. If you guys have ever seen those guys, they carry around the big gun. They yell at people. They're very loud. Anyway, through that, I tried to get some tactical tips from them. And what I found was through my research on YouTube and watching other videos in the tactical realm and format, I've got to say, guys, their tactics aren't always great in the Queen's Guard. I don't know if have you guys ever seen any of those videos?
Yeah, I've seen them where people walk up to them and they yell like, get away or back away from the Queen's Guard, something like that.
Exactly. So here's the thing, and I might actually do a little short segment on this for some of the stuff I'm doing with you guys outside of this podcast, for the Tactical Tim stuff, tactical tips, things like that. But here's one thing I've noticed that I'll just kind of throw out here on the podcast, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. If there's something that you picked up and you want to share with everybody, go right ahead, Tactical Tim.
All right. So if you guys notice in those videos when people are coming up to them. They're like touching their hats or touching their face, or they're getting real close to them, right? Okay. People might not understand. That's not exactly very tactical. Okay. If somebody's getting that close, they have exposed, they have broken the seal of your tactical bubble, your tactical jar, whatever you call it. I call mine my tactical shield. Just what I do. That's what I go with. That's the title I've decided to give, the boundary that I can't let people pass. If somebody's touching your face, they're getting up in your face, they're getting too close to your person, you've hit a lot of red flags, tactically speaking, right? So what I would like to see with the Queen's Guard moving forward, or I guess now the King's Guard, what I would like to see them moving forward is they're scanning, right? Because you can tell they're scanning. They're not really moving. They're standing there, and every so often they walk kind of weird, which the tactical walk they use, I could really give them some tips on the tactical walk. But anyway, when they're scanning, right? As soon as somebody comes close, as soon as they break that, I'm just going to use my nomenclature for it. As soon as they break that tactical shield, it's really time to start thinking about, am I going to go hand-to-hand combat with this guy? What am I going to do? Like right now, I'm really into BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And what I would do is I'd probably spin them, do a rear naked choke. Once they pass out, lower them to the ground, move them back outside of my tactical shield area, and wait for them to come to. Once they come to, I would be ready, and I would say, "Sir, I'm sorry. I had to knock you out with my BJJ reverse or rear naked choke." And I would probably go into how I did that briefly with them, and then I would say, "I did that because you had broken my tactical shield." There's probably follow-up questions from this gentleman because if he came into my tactical shield, he doesn't know the rules of tactics. And so I would say, well, you came into my tactical shield, therefore I had to do some type of defensive maneuver, which could be mistaken for an offensive maneuver, but actually you came into my tactical shield, so now it's defensive. See, it's defensive. And I would explain that to that gentleman, and then I would probably send him on his way. Of course, I would do a detailed report with the head of the King's Guard, probably do a carbon copy to the king himself, and obviously keep one for my own records. But that's just what I would do. Sorry, guys, I got off on a little tangent there. You guys know that even though I'm not always in the tactical environment, I'm always in the tactical mindset. So, guys, to the listeners out there, and then I'm going to get it right off of here. Guys, stay tactical, stay practical. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks, Tim. Tactical Tim, everybody. No lineage, no problems with the Queen, but he does have some tips for the Queen's Guard. So something to keep in mind for sure. Okay, so I think we have covered everything we can cover. We're right on the money here on time. So, Brock, anything you would like to say before we take off here?
No, I think, we covered everything, talked about the Queen, and, I don't know that anybody we talked to actually had any, ties to a royal family, except you, Phil. And, apparently we're not even sure about that.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. No, we didn't talk to any royalty today, unless I'm considered royalty somewhere down the line, possibly. I guess that could be a possibility. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to the Phil Switch podcast. And don't forget to check out my other podcast, The 1st and 15th, which I co-host with Kaplowitz Media. You can find him over at kaplowitz.xyz. That's KAPLOWITZ.xyz. He actually has a new book out, How to Enjoy a Cigar. So you can go over there and check that out. If you would like to contact us, you can do that by reaching out to us through email at thefilswitch@gmail.com. Again, that's thefilswitch@gmail.com. Guys, we wish you all a great week, and we'll see you soon here at the Phil Switch.